So the numbers for the first half, beating estimates. Tell us what went right for you in the first half of this year.
Well, we show a very strong performance, 5% underlying earnings per share growth, and this is distributed across all segments. You see a strong operating movement on life, on P&C, and on asset management. And on top of this, we have really managed to grow in the segments where we want to grow, which is the health business and the commercial line P&C business. And all of this based on a very strong balance sheet with a Solvency II ratio of 200%. So all in all, very good results. We are fully on track with our Ambition 2020, and I'm very confident looking forward.
And you are a CEO indeed in a hurry. You set some pretty tough targets. You're saying that you can hit that return on equity of 12 to 14% along with the targets for your Asian expansion. Still confident in terms of the grab for clients in Asia?
Yes, I mean, obviously, we have set some very high targets with the return on equity. We are even ahead of our targets at half year. But clearly, Asia is a key growth area for us. We are very well positioned in Asia in almost all the main countries with very strong local partners. And our focus is really to grow with these partners and take advantage of this demographic growth and the new middle class that is coming up in Asia.
You've said that AXA is going to list a minority stake in the US business, Thomas. Where does that take you sort of medium term in the US? Do you plan to exit the US business entirely? Do you plan to hold on to eventually a minority stake? What's your thinking?
Look, it's early days. I mean, we have announced this intention to list a minority stake for two reasons. One is we want to take more advantage of the local growth condition. And secondly, we want to have more capital to redeploy into the segments where we want to grow, notably the health business and the commercial line P&C business. We are in the moment in the quiet period, so as it is, I cannot talk a lot about it in the S1 procedure. However, if you look at the numbers that we have published at half year, the US is a very, very strong contributor. New business is up by 13%. So we have to see going forward how the strategy will play out. But I'm confident that we have a very good operation there. It is very much focused on a growing market, and I'm very happy with the results I've seen.
Obviously, you're going to have proceeds from that IPO. You have this process of changing AXA. The geographies, where is the priority for you, Thomas? When we see the heavy hand, I suppose, of the PBOC and the Chinese authorities in terms of wealth and in terms of the kind of products that are being offered there, where is the priority for you in terms of spending the money? Would it be China?
Look, we don't look at it from a geographical perspective. We look at it more from a line of business perspective. From a line of business perspective in health and commercial P&C. Why do we believe that these lines of business are important? These lines of business have an inherent customer contact that is very frequent, and we do believe we need to get closer to our end customer. If you look geographically, we have today the critical global size, so there is no white spot that we have to fill in, and that means we are looking across the globe in those two segments to really grow, but to grow with opportunistic approaches and not with large acquisitions.
So with that in mind then, Thomas, when you look at things that Anbang, for example, in China might have to sell, is there anything that they might put up for sale that you might be interested in?
I don't know yet, since I haven't seen the file yet, but I'm looking with great interest and with great care at every file that passes on my desk, but always with a filter. Is it a business that is in the health arena? Is it a business that is in the commercial line P&C? And is it a business where I get closer to the end customer?
Getting closer to the end customers. You're not interested in any assets like hotel, working assets, generating income like the Waldorf Astoria, no?
No, we are very focused on what I said earlier. We are strong globally. We need to shift our portfolio towards a more client-focused approach, and therefore those two areas are my focus.
And you're speaking to us from Paris, of course, Thomas. When you look at the change in the political landscape in France, how do you view the early months that Macron has delivered to France, and what do you want him to prioritise in the months ahead?
Look, first of all, I'm very happy that the French president is called Emmanuel Macron. It has really given a very positive spin to France. He's very dedicated to make the necessary changes. I believe there's two areas that need to be of focus in the short term. The one is the question around how to reduce the deficit, and the second one is how to really make a move on the labor market reform. These discussions are ongoing, and I'm very confident that he and his team are very dedicated to make the necessary changes and really bring France back into the global arena of competitiveness where it has to be. And if you look, most of the businesses of the large enterprises in France, if you take the AXA business, are already doing quite well. So we are well equipped for these changes, and we want to benefit from these changes even more.